And that's a memo. Now for the top story tonight. How big is likability in this presidential election? With us now, Dr. Jeanne Zaino, who teaches at Iona College. And from Providence, Rhode Island, Dr. Wendy Schiller, who teaches at Brown University. Dr. Schiller, begin with you. What about the personal stuff? How important is it this time around?
I think it can make the absolute deciding difference. And here's, I think, why people like Obama right now better than Romney. A, they're more familiar with his story. His backstory is that he's an underdog. He ran against Hillary Clinton, which made a lot of people happy in this country who didn't like Hillary Clinton. He defeated Hillary Clinton, the establishment candidate, the first African-American president of the United States. These are good storylines. Then he gets into office. The economy's bad, but he looks like a loyal family guy. He's a good father, good husband. These are all the intangibles that voters look for in a candidate, and he hasn't diverted or given them any reason not to stick with those images of Obama in the last 4 years.
Okay,
so the
now
economy,
you're talking,
we all know, is bad.
You're talking primarily about non-ideological voters. I mean, people who
yes,
just don't, they're not
absolutely.
committed to conservative or liberal principles. So they think that the president, even though they may be disappointed in his performance, is basically a nice guy, and that's the image he projects. Do you agree with that, Dr. Zaino?
Well, you know, what I think has happened is the Romney campaign has not given the voters a chance to look at the basic issues that he needs to talk about. So the more they focus on likability, the better for Obama. Absolutely.
But it's close. It's only 3 points.
It's only 3 points because basically Romney is a likable guy. He's a family guy. He's a religious guy. He's basically likable. But likable has to do with a lot of factors underlying that. And what people really want to focus on and really want to see is the economy. You're talking about people in the middle. They're not ideological voters.
But the economy works against the president because there's just no way you can spin it. But you said something interesting. I want to get Dr. Schiller's point of view on this. Do you think that most uninformed voters, I mean, that's what we're talking about, the people who are informed, they're not going to go on likability. They're going to go on, look, Medicare, Iran, they're going to make their decision on that. But the people who are floating around, they don't really know. Is it working to spend hundreds of millions of dollars trying to demonize Romney as this greedy, rich-head guy who just wants to throw people out of work? Do you think anybody's buying that?
Well, I think the reason it's working is that it started so long ago. It started probably early July.
Who would be buying that?
And the problem for Romney is that he's given some ammunition for that.
How?
So I think it's been working. I think it'll continue to work, and I think it's up to Romney in the debate to really find a way out of that and give voters a different image.
But how can you disprove a negative? How can you disprove a negative? You can't. I mean,
here's how you do it. Here's how you do it in the debate. Good. If you're Mitt Romney, you tie every proposal you have to helping the individual person who's lower income, who's trying to struggle, who's working hard. You make sure every point you make is directed at that audience to show that you're thinking about them and you care about them. And I do agree, he's a likable guy. More of that has to come through. But I think he's got to tie it to how his policies will help the average American rather than sort of vague specifics about how the economy.
That's interesting advice. That's interesting advice. Now, President Obama comes across at times as kind of cold and distant. You know, he's professorial, they say. Yeah, I mean, and I have to say, I have to be honest. At times I've been around him, he's been fine. He isn't, I'm trying to make a comparison in my mind. I've interviewed 5 presidents. I think that they all have a guard up, and they should. A guy like me, you know, I'm watching these guys, I'm measuring, and if they do something ridiculous, I'm going to report it. They know that. But I know Romney and Obama, and as far as personality is concerned, I think they're both very, and I'm going to get letters on this, they're very close. Because they're both basically inherently shy. I mean, these are not guys who are going to be with John Belushi in Animal House, you know, doing the dance on the floor, the toga dance. They're both reserved men. And I agree with Dr. Schiller. I'm going to give the last word, Dr. Zaino, that Romney has to show a little bit more personality during the debates, but at the same time be authoritative. That's not going to be easy. He absolutely does, and I think what happened at the convention, they tried to focus on likability as opposed to issues. The minute Bill Clinton came out and said, Obama gets a pass, he did the best any president could have done, that really hurt Mitt Romney. He's got to say, these are the 4 things I'm going to do. Like me or not, I'm going to complete these policies. Yeah, he's got to be authoritative, and he's got to put the president on the defensive without being a mean guy, you know, and as a mean guy myself, certifiable, I know that that's not easy. All right, ladies, thanks very much. Next on the Rundown, Miss Laura.